VR specifically, I'm curious from your expertise in particular, what is the most simple and poignant thing you can tell someone, an average person, why it's so important and why it will be important for the future?
Well, so here's what's happening. We had large mainframes, right? And then we moved into an era of computing with the desktop computer. And I think we all recognize that computers are getting broken up and they're getting smaller. This is as fast as Big Blue, the supercomputer from the 80s and 90s. This is as fast as a supercomputer used to be 20 years ago. But we also have with 5G coming, the ability to take effectively just the glass screen part and offload all of the chipsets, all of the brain, if you will, and turn that into the mesh, right? So we can take this device, it doesn't need to be that smart. All it needs is an internet connection, a high-speed one, to attach to a brain which may be all over the world, right? A mesh network. So if we think about now computing breaking up into all these different pieces. We've got voice, we've got Amazon Alexa and the like, right? Which is a digital assistant that's merely a speaker, but it's also connected to the internet. I've got my Apple Watch that is also giving me push notifications, but it's got an LTE connection and it's independently. This is effectively my phone. My phone now is my tablet, actually.
Yeah.
I don't really use this as a phone anymore. It's this, and my tablet is actually now my laptop. Because it has a keyboard, right? I got an iPad Pro, and so we've broken up all these devices, and what it really means to simplify everything at the end of the day is that we are moving from the information superhighway, which was everybody's on the same road, to the information my way. And this is individualized computing, completely tailored to me. And things get much more interesting beyond merely, I'm on my smartphone checking Facebook, which is my world, my news feed, my own bubble, and my watch and whatever else. What gets interesting is when these, and it's what I'm calling the Warby Parker moment, when these become a display as well, with tailored information to me in my life. So that if I'm, let's say, at a conference, very soon we will see, let's say, LinkedIn data. And so I have a flag over your head with your name, your background. I will be able to know immediately at a conference like this who I want to network with. Perhaps people who I'm to know who I'm already LinkedIn with or not.
Sure.
But in the very near future, a single person, I haven't been single in a while, but a single person can go to a bar and see the Tinder profiles of whoever they might even potentially match.
Do you think that the implication of this quick data gathering technology will inhibit real human connections to be made?
It'll enhance them. It'll very deeply enhance.
How so though? Let's just say I see you at a bar and I already have all your information, but that's the information that LinkedIn provides me. That's not the whole full profile of who you are as an individual, but maybe I might be turned off because of what LinkedIn has told me.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of people in this world that have social anxiety. Very often you can go to
I do not. So I'm saying,
don't,
right now,
right?
What happens?
So this is the same argument that people are making about Facebook, and it fails, right? Facebook happens to make the world more of a social place. And I just went to a reunion for J. Walter Thompson, and it was a bunch of us that worked together in 1995, and we're now at a bar, and this was just 2 weeks ago. That would not have happened had Facebook not existed. I didn't retain their email addresses. People have moved to other states. The one location that we have to all get together and plan something like that happens to be social media. So there is a benefit to that. Is it going to make relationships less interesting or more of a facade? Maybe, but I think, the opportunity to find things that you and I, let's say, have in common that we may not really know. I haven't looked at your Facebook profile or I haven't overly Google stalked you, but perhaps if I had my AR glasses and you had yours, we might be able to immediately figure out some hobbies that we have in common, or perhaps some friends that we have in common that would spark an interesting conversation that would deviate from the one even that we're having right now. So when I'm able to go throughout my world and have a proactive AI-powered butler whispering in my ear, bone conduction from my glasses, and Bluetooth connection from another brain in my pocket, a very powerful supercomputer, And we are all tied together through various computer networks, whether that's social profiles or what have you, or messaging. We can relate to each other irrespective of time, space, and motion, right? We're not limited to those things. But when we do happen to congregate in the same location, we can have that much deeper of a connection and make it lasting, right? And connect on social media and other ways that after the conversation, and to even continue the conversation. So I think we have to ask ourselves what happens when we take the usual limitations that we've grown accustomed to and take them away, and what do you have left? And the analogy I would give, let's say, is like with AR being introduced in, say, restaurants, right? So if I could sit down at a table and my glasses or whatever AR device I'm using could give me an interactive menu, but now it's a smart menu, and the specials of the day, whatever, might be filtered out. If I'm a vegetarian, I don't really need to know about the burger, unless it's a veggie. The server, when they come to the table now, don't necessarily have to tell me the specials.
Yeah, but then at that point, you can tell the restaurant, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. You're swiping in augmented reality, and there's no need for the server.
Well, there is, on the standpoint of hospitality. I still want to have a human being come and ask me how
just for the
food.
pseudo hospitality. They don't
Right.
need to actually be there, but it enhances the quality of the experience.
You're removing some of the logistical, boring conversation from what's effectively a transaction. Server comes to the table and says, "Here's what you can buy today," and you say, "This is what I want to buy." If you remove that from the equation, now what's left is hospitality. It's a human connection. This is important, say, for a restaurant. Yelp reviews can make or break a restaurant. If a server now has a human connection and can address at the table, and perhaps even through AR, I can say, I'm not liking my food. The server can come and deal with it then and there, as opposed to when I go home, when I give them a 1-star review and complain, right?
Sure. That's one
So
specific.
This has real business benefits, but the benefits lie in improved human-to-human connection. So we can talk eye to eye for real, as opposed to, let's say, when it comes to the hotel here, what's the rate of the hotel? Do you have any availability? Here's my credit card, whatever. All of that can happen fairly instantaneously through devices. And what's left is, welcome to the hotel. How may I help you? Right? That's a lasting branded impression. I'm now getting a favorable connection to the hotel. And perhaps even now, instead of this logistical conversation, I'm learning this person's name, and I'm creating a friendship as opposed to a transaction. I think there's a lot of benefits there.